every human yearns to be free. So the question is, how do we become free and what exactly is freedom? Freedom isn't about doing whatever the hell you want. It's about doing what makes your soul giggle. Freedom is when you drop the baggage and then you flip your hair and finally you live life on your terms. But it's less about breaking all the rules and more about breaking the right ones. So if I had to put it in one line, freedom is that delicious moment when your soul and your choices and your truth all dance together unapologetically and fully alive. Freedom is a feeling, and to really taste freedom, close your eyes and bring to mind one moment in your life when you felt most alive, most expansive, and most full. It could be the belly aching laughter when you were hanging with your friends last, or you're rolling on the floor with laughter, or the way your dogs come charging at you when you just walk through the door, or the way your parents have tickled you until you've squealed with joy, or that hug that made you feel like the safest human on earth. Take a screenshot of this feeling. This is the feeling we carry in our hearts from now on. The truth is, we already know what fullness and freedom feel like because we've experienced them before, which means we can now train ourselves to return to that state again and again. So even when sadness knocks on the door, it doesn't have to unpack its bags and stay in the house forever. Feel the sadness, honor it, and then gently remind yourself of that expansive, limitless joy wala screenshot that already lives within you. Make that screenshot your blueprint. Notice how freedom feels like. Let me give you some indicators. Freedom physically would feel like your chest feels open, like vast, and your belly feels soft. Your breathing is deep and slow. You laugh a lot. It's very easy to make you laugh. You trust a lot, and life just seems easy. Now, let's talk about how to become free. It's a 3-step process and it's a 3 big step process. Let's begin with the cliche. You've all heard it a million times, but it is the gospel truth, so you need to hear it again. We all need to learn how to live in the now. Let's begin with the past. The past is nothing but a photo album in your own head. Your pictures are neutral, there's no drama, there's no soundtrack. Think about it. Another example. The past is like a movie you've already watched. You can replay the scenes in your head 1,000 times. You can't jump back into the theater and change the ending, right? So why not live in the past? Because it's happened. It doesn't exist in this moment, does it? Our memories don't hurt. What emoji you add to them is what hurts. So is your emoji that of anger, heartbreak, or my favorite word, acceptance? Learn to accept what you cannot control. This emoji is our choice. Use your wisdom to learn the lesson, change the emoji, and feel light by closing that album. Move on. We need emojis, which reminds me for, I think, acceptance and wisdom, my 2 favorite words. Another example. Holding on to the past is like running into your future wearing 6-inch stilettos. You're going to be prone to blisters and pain. So why do that when you can slip on your sneakers, be light, free, fast, and sprint into what's next? Future. I think we human beings are a bit bizarre because we love living in fear, especially the fear of uncertainty. We don't know what's going to happen and we kind of try, we can't control that, and that makes us obsess over it. We obsess over the future as if worrying gives us control. But imagine this. I hand you the script of your entire life. I say at 15, you're going to have your first kiss. At 35, you marry a man named Ramesh. At 40, you have your second child. At 55, you become a millionaire. At 70, you have grandkids. And at 85, goodbye. Sounds neat, right? But also boring? Where's the thrill? Where's the magic? The beauty of life is in the not knowing. It's in the plot twists. Life is a dance with the unknown. Please learn to flow with it. If someone spoils the ending of the movie right at the start, what's the point of watching the movie, right? So why do you want to know? Be comfortable with the uncertainty and stop pouring fear into your own hypothetical future which you have created as a potential possibility in your own head. You might just manifest that negative hypothetical outcome. That would be foolish. Instead, send out excitement and wonder and enthusiasm out into the universe. That's the energy you want to manifest in your future, not worry. Fear sees uncertainty as a threat. Freedom sees it as a playground. Let's come to the present. Now, once you've cleared the mental chitter chatter and that noise of the past, which is memories, and your imagination, which is the future, the white noise has left the building, which means you are now here in the now. So, want to know the secret to feeling free and peaceful and magnetic? Stay in the present like a child does. Tap into your 5-year-old. A child goes, "Mama, look at me, I'm going round and round." Or, "Mama, look at me, I wore a new dress." The simplest things give them so much joy because they're not worrying about tomorrow or replaying yesterday. They are just here right now in their true, authentic spirit. Living in the present, it's basically adulting with the soul of a 5-year-old. And let me tell you, the universe loves authenticity. To be able to laugh at your own clumsiness, to cry without shame, and to love without calculation. This is not immaturity, but a return to innocence. The child in us knew how to live moment to moment. To be free is to remember that lens, to not be childish, but childlike in an adult heart, where the smallest things feel worth celebrating. And that joy, it makes us a clean vessel for the universe to pour more into. You are now in receiving mode. Presence makes you more childlike. Childlike makes you joyful. Joy makes you magnetic. And magnetism, that's how desires manifest. So if you all read the book by Eckhart Tolle called The Power of Now, it's a bestseller, everyone's heard about it. Keep in mind the title of the book could have been Live in the Now, Be in the Now, but what has he called it? The Power of Now. Because the now is powerful, but in a very gentle, soft way. It's not a fierce warrior power in the now. It's a very be joyful, be magnetic, do your masti and things will come your way. That's the kind of power it's talking about, and that is the power of the now. Understand the phrase power of now. It's really powerful. Now, if you're wondering how do you become more present, so try and inculcate this habit every day where, say I'm sitting on this chair right now, I am feeling the texture of the table on my elbow. I am hearing myself breathe. I'm inhaling from one nostril, exhaling from the other. I'm aware of that. I am seeing my hand warmth. I'm feeling the warmth of my hand. I can feel the cold flooring underneath my feet right now because I'm barefoot. I can see the trees on the side of my eye vision right now. I'm observing the shape of the leaf and how beautiful the tree is. There's no separation. That's a tree, that's a plant, that's me, I'm a human. When I'm walking on the road, I'm observing the feathers on the road, the sticks on the road, or the noise of the birds. I'm observing what tree it is. This kind of awareness, if you can just bring in this habit every day, even if it's for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, however long you like, this starts inculcating a habit of reminding you to be in the present. Point number 2. The second way to feel free in life is operating from your heart. The cutest tug of war for me is the heart versus mind battle that happens inside all of us. Now imagine your heart is like a wild child who wants to run barefoot in the rain, sing loudly off key, eat mangoes dripping down her chin and hands, and fall in love with sunsets and strangers. And she's all about joy and instinct and yes to life, and that's the attitude. Now picture your mind as the serious parent with the clipboard, wearing glasses, saying, "Okay, but did you carry an umbrella? Did you sanitize the mango? What are the strangers shady? And excuse me, singing off key is socially awkward na, log kya kahenge?" The heart is messy, it's magical, it's spontaneous. The mind, it's neat, logical, protective. Both mean well. The heart wants to expand, the mind wants to protect. The trouble starts when the mind forgets it's supposed to be the secretary, not the CEO. The heart is the CEO, the dreamer, the visionary. The mind's job is to make PowerPoints and set alarms for the CEO's visions to actually happen. This is what the battle looks like. It's a cute battle. The heart will say, "Let's dance." The mind says, "But people will stare." The heart says, say I love you. But the mind says, what if they don't say it back? The heart says, quit the boring job. The mind says, but EMI, pension, stability. Because the mind is wired to protect you. It mostly works from fear and old conditioning, replaying rules from your past just to keep you safe or what it thinks is safe for you. Now you need to figure out for yourself when safe feels safe or when safe feels like you are stuck. Here's the truth. The mind is not meant to be the boss. It's supposed to be the assistant, the bodyguard, the secretary, helping the heart's big dreams stay grounded in reality. So real freedom comes when the heart dreams it, the mind gives it structure, and the soul gets to feel free. So shift your lens. When we see life through our mind or through fear and ego, everything feels like a cage. But when we shift to a lens of love, trust, or even curiosity, freedom comes back to us. It returns. An example is rejection becomes redirection, failure becomes feedback. So live freedom daily. How? I'll tell you how. Choose joy over obligation wherever possible. Check in with yourself. Is this choice from love or is this from fear? Keep asking yourself this question. Small freedoms also matter a lot. A little walk, saying no to something you don't want to, you don't approve of, you don't like, wearing what feels authentic to you, eating slowly and laughing at your own jokes and making fun of yourself. Over time, these little micro acts remind your subconscious, I am free already. The third, which is also my favorite, is complete faith, trust, and surrender to the universe. Surrender. I am giving it my all, but I trust the universe to bring me what's aligned, even if it looks different from what I pictured, not being attached to the outcome. Now we have two options to live out in life, control or surrender. Think of it like this. Not surrendering is like trying to row upstream against a raging river. It's exhausting, it's frustrating, you're going nowhere, but you're moving fast. Where we say things like, oh, I'm going to make this happen, I work so hard, you watch, where you micromanage every detail in your life and you feel or you tell yourself, I make things happen. Surrendering from your heart is dropping the oars, letting the current carry you, and then by chance you discover hidden beaches and waterfalls you didn't even know existed. It's like la 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 la. So let the universal intelligence use me as a vessel to co-create. This way you open yourself up to miracles. When you surrender fully to the universe, you're basically blasting out this frequency. Yo, universe, I trust you more than anyone else, more than my parents, my friends, or even my own clever mind. You've got my back always. Embody this in your bones, in every cell of your body. And how do you prove that trust to the universe? By not micromanaging every single detail of your life like some cosmic control freak. Now, the question is, why should you surrender to the universe? Because the universe sees the bigger map. Now, you're standing at ground level, seeing only a few meters ahead of you. The universe has a bird's eye view of the entire landscape, the valleys, the shortcuts, the dead ends, the hidden treasures. Surrendering means trusting that there is a higher intelligence weaving it all together. And what's your job after you surrender? Here's the cheeky twist. Surrendering doesn't mean you watch YouTube, chill, and hope for miracles to happen. Nope. Your job is to become a clean, high frequency, open to listen vessel so that when the universal downloads come, they hit you straight with clarity, glitch free. What does that mean? Clean eating, clean thinking, which means less I can't and more why the hell not? Clean your self-sabotaging patterns from the subconscious. I use hypnotherapy for this, but you can all find your own ways to figure that out. Clean emotions, release jealousy, guilt, hatred, regret. These are like static in your own signal. High frequency vibes, joy, gratitude, love, masti. That's the channel where the universe streams its best shows. Now, when you do this, you become such a clear channel that the downloads come in crisp, impulses, ideas arrive with perfect timing. The universe whispers to you, do this next, Shonali. And then you take inspired action, and that's the sweet spot. You flow, you act, you create. But here's the kicker. Faith has to be that strong even when obstacles show up. You can't be like, excuse me, universe, I trusted you, I surrendered to you, and this is what you're giving me in return. My luck is kharab only. I'm just not meant to have good things in my life. Because in that moment, your frequency is dropping, and then the universe is going to give you exactly your frequency. Also, in that moment, the universe is going, hey, Bhagwan, she was doing so well. What do we do with this girl? Obstacles, remember, are not punishment. They are just the universe's way of grabbing a giant spotlight and zooming in into that exact area of your life that you need to level up. Think of it as a divine upgrade alert. Now, you want that desire you asked for, right? But to receive it, you got to grow into the version of you who can hold that desire. So the universe says, here, work on this, Shonali, heal this about yourself, upgrade yourself, then boom, I'll deliver. After all, we need to understand what is the meaning of pain. I'll give you a full form of pain which I use. Pay attention inwards now. That is what pain means, and that is the real dance of surrender. So remember, surrender plus high frequency is equal to freedom. Simple math, sexy math, and the only math worth doing. Here's a very fun affirmation to repeat, or you can even write this out daily. I trust, I flow, I let it all go. The universe loves me. That's all I need to know. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is how I became free in life. And I really hope that you take something from this video for yourselves.